You know what's funny? I have only met, I've been.
This one, very current, so you know, where to go, when not to go. It's a very good, I read, I'm going to read it again because before I go, probably want to go next year.
Which had, the engine was behind the boat, so it was actually.
Some of that,
yeah. And the guy, when I bought it.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the library, but,
Cooler.
well, yeah, it's small print, that's tough.
Yeah. On Fourth Avenue, downtown. Actually, right by.
And then after I retired, I got a job at Fender Shipbuilding in Mobile, Alabama. The project came right here. And so, I'm only a couple hours from New Orleans. Hour, 240 miles, 2 hours. And so, I would go to Mardi Gras then, but I lived in New Orleans for, well, south, you know, the west the suburb of New Orleans for 2 years. And two of my children were born here. My youngest is.
Are you a full-in doctor?
Oh, yeah. They're official coon asses. You've been in Florida, right?
Oh, I've had my condo.
I was born, my father was born on Montreal. We just right in the Gulf of Mobile. And they spent a lot of time about that. My last name was Gaudet, but on that little island there was a few families of Gaudet. Juzang, the Chestang, all that Creole. The only place that I found orange watermelon.
They usually
Orange watermelon, pure orange, like an orange. And sweetness of it. But that is never heard of it. We will go down. Well, sure.
Yeah.
So she went in. So she kept the job. So I've been. She was in the kind of like. We even had a reunion for these now. She was making. Oh yeah. She gave it up to go and she still had. Yeah, no. Yeah. But you went.
Well, the thing about that is,
I didn't make that.
all that.
Now you know the next one is here in Fort Lauderdale is October.
Well, the only person I remember that was XO Steve.
And he went down and watched.
Who was later Sublime.
Our friend graduated boot camp.
I was on there in 1964 as a midshipman.
He goes down and he says,
I didn't really know that body aboard.
And you knew Carlos too. Carlos too, that's coming in.
He was in the gold.
Yes.
I know of him.
Yeah. I mean, he had big foot, 6'4". Yeah, he was amazing. I loved it. He invited me up to Tang one time and looked me.
I guess you figured.
How was my cruise? And I said, how was my cruise?
I don't want to.
And he said, the steer. Said, I have to be honest. So I just said, yeah, it's just going pretty good. I know a few people who
I got it. I had 21 or something. Yeah.
It wasn't a week. He didn't come back to me. He was. But I was only talking the others I went aboard in 64 and out in 57.
You were on board when I was there then.
On the
gold.
Yeah.
Blue Crew's much better.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Wholeheartedly.
That's what they say. That came out easy. Yeah, good.
Give me 5 seconds.
The time that I was on, advancement is only going to go so far. Right. You understand? When I get out, I'll be in America. And then we follow. I remember that for years. They were
Need another refill. Don't let them take my food.
Okay.
I'm not doing it.
No, it's funny. They may be trained to secure the boat company, and then they know they're going to get fed. Same thing on the East Coast. So the Dolphins got this figured out when they're going to release all the really empty turtles. I think they all showed up on the shoreline.
Chaplain Granger. Chaplain Granger.
They're smart. Well, they're yeah, I'm sure they know the boats. Pretty cool. We were not my own. Oh, they were. Yeah. Oh, I thought you had the mission. No, I was what I jokingly said to the guy. Oh, I see. We were out there, and we didn't see anything. Oh, and then he kept going further north. And of course, my older girl, she done it. This guy yeah. Oh, to go back. Oh, I know you're going to drive. We're going to go down the normal spot. Oh, I thought they were chumming. And then you go to the normal spot. No, they're not here today. No, we're going to keep going. Way up. I don't know. Because the Dolphin tour is here with the treasure island. Yeah, they do. I don't know how they know that the Dolphin are leaving. Probably an insurance experience.
Yep, thank you.
Otherwise, it'd be like the rest of them.
Yeah.
Hope to find it.
Here we were at the kayak. Whoa. Oh, yeah. They were there first.
I had a video on the news the other day. Whales. I don't know where we are. Back in the boat. I don't know what that. Yeah, I didn't have much of a video. I wondered if that boat went down. Did it go down? Then a guy gets knocked off.
My brother retired. I don't think it's that.
Probably wouldn't attack him.
No, I don't think it was dated on.
No, I was thinking like John. We need a bigger boat.
Yeah, they said nothing about the whale itself,
You just mentioned it's not made, it's not organized to make money. The base.
But that was a huge whale.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Probably hurt his jaw.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, visitors. We have one today. Introduce the vice commander.
Thank you. We dedicate the meeting to our brothers still on eternal patrol. to perpetuate the memory of our shipmates who gave their lives in the pursuit of their duties while serving their country, that their dedication, deeds, and supreme sacrifice may be a constant source of motivation toward greater accomplishments, and to pledge loyalty and patriotism to the United States of America and its Constitution. Let's have a moment of silence.
All rise, uncover.
Chaplain, give the invocation, please.
Most heavenly and gracious Father, Son of Man, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this group. We thank you for getting us here safely today and for the food that's been provided. We lift up praises for your gifts to us each day. We pray all these things in your name. Amen. Gentlemen, today we'd like to do a presentation in remembrance of a former member, Ed Gorich. Some of you may not have realized, but Ed was our chief of the boat here for many years. And he was very let me put it this way. Ed pretty much saw that things were done the way they should be done. At the picnics, he would set it up. He would help with the cooking of, back then we had hamburgers and hot dogs and so forth. And were it not for Ed's hand and all of that, we would have had serious problems with the picnics back in those days. Final patrol. Lord, this department shipmate with dolphins on his chest is part of an outfit known as the best. Make him welcome and take him by the hand. You'll find without a doubt he was the best in all the land. So Heavenly Father, add his name to the roll of our departed shipmates still on patrol. Let them know that we who serve will always keep their memories alive. Thank you, Ed.
Ed also pulled the boat.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I say something? Just remind everybody that George W. Bush passed a law that all veterans, whether in uniform or not, covered or uncovered, can salute the flag during the Pledge of Allegiance and the playing of the national anthem. Instead of putting your hand over your heart, you can salute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Tolling of the boat. Lord, our departed shipmates with dolphins on their chest are part of the outfit known as the best. You'll find without a doubt they were the best in all the land. Let them know that we who survive will always keep their memories alive. There is a point of no return where ships may ride at anchor for a little space. And then some starless night, the cable slips, leaving only an eddy at the mooring place. Gulls, fear no longer, sailors rest your oar. No tangled wreckage will be washed ashore.
USS Grunion, SS-216, 7/30/42. USS S-28, SS-133, 70444. USS Bravo SS 273 72644. Ring the bell one more time for ships still on patrol.
Commanders,
The movie Men of Honor, about the diver.
Bob Summer,
Yes. I shared a picture
Dave,
with him one time at a Chiefs initiation.
John Raines.
Yo.
Al. Did I miss anybody?
Yeah, hey, there's the other day.
The other day. Wow. Dave where?
Dave Harris.
Dave here. Sorry, Dave. Medical list. Or one of our members, Sam Avalofia, plant owner on Von Steuben, is in Bay Pines. He's not communicating with me. I used to talk to him about twice a week. And he just finally gave me a call and said, "Don't call me, please." So yes, sir.
A couple of things on the medical list. I spoke yesterday with Jim Frantz. Jim's health has deteriorated to the point that he's no longer able to live by himself. They moved him to a rehab slash assisted living facility in Bradenton. I put an e-blast out giving you information about the his cell phone number, address, and all like that. Give him a call, okay? Just a couple of minutes, talk to him. It does wonders for him. Tom Donan is home today. That's why he's not here. He's recovering and doing quite well from his 5th cornea transplant. But he's doing good. He wanted everybody to know that he was thinking of you and he was sorry that he wasn't able to make it. John Raines has gone through a heart catheterization earlier this week. They've identified the valves that they're going to work on, and he'll go in for surgery in a couple of weeks. He's here today. What's the old Ever Ready bunny thing? Anyway, there he is. John's doing good.
Thank you. Do we have any guests here in the house? I saw one.
Yes.
Oh, okay. In the loop. Do we have any new members here? No one? Do we have a member?
Second time.
Huh?
Second meeting.
Second meeting. We got a hat for you. Please come forward. Congratulations.
Sure he is.
We have one more Bowling Club member had to pass out, but he's not here. Alrighty, base commander's report. I'd like to thank the Spark Plug Division for their participation on the 4th of July parade for Kenneth City. A little toasty, but it was tolerable, especially sitting in the air-conditioned truck. It only took, it was only about a 20-minute walk down, what street was that?
46.
46, wasn't it? And a lot of nice people saying nice things, you know, thank you for your service and all that. It was very rewarding. Looking for a volunteer for next month's lunch. Forgot that last meeting. Yes, Chief of the boat, thank you. And with that, I'll turn it over to the Vice Commodore.
Thank you, Al Almack, for the wonderful lunch. Couple things to talk about today. The first thing is, here is the book for the 60th anniversary of USS VI Groton Base. And this is a very interesting handbook here. I got it from Bob Bachman. It has our advertisement in it, and Yahoo! There it is.
That was the 60th anniversary up there in Rockford, is that what that was for?
Yes.
Which one's that? Up to that?
Right over here, on the right. With the tang fish. With the tang fish. Yeah. Super. Lots of great advertisements in this. Who all got this? Who all got a copy of this?
Those people who actually paid for advertising.
Okay, so since we paid for this advertisement and we got the book, so the rest of you probably didn't. Quite frankly, I will send out to all of you. Actually, I think I'll send it to the newsletter. To put in the newsletter this advertisement. Really sweet. Okay, the second thing is that I was going to get going with the USS Tang 805 Commissioning Committee organizing activities a couple months ago after I was at the christening for the USS Idaho, and I talked to a lot of the people there in Groton. And when I got back here, my wife's brother was having some health problems. We went to Idaho. He survived for a couple months and then he passed away. So I was out of town from late March until about 4 weeks ago. So I didn't get a chance to do a whole lot on the USS Tang Commissioning Committee. And so now I'm starting. On your table, you will see a piece of paper, looks like this. And I put some submarine pens there also. What this is an idea, gives you an idea of a commissioning committee. And I copied this off of the structure that was used for the USS Idaho commissioning. So the commissioning committee, the board of directors, chairman, vice chairman, secretary, treasurer, general counsel, other regional directors to be the board of directors, and then the various other committees that are needed: marketing, finance, fundraising, membership, planning, committees. So this right here is kind of a structure that we can use for the commissioning committee for the USS Tang 805.
committee and that organization for the commissioning is totally separate from Tang Base. So none of you have obligations to be a part of that commissioning committee. It would be great if you can be and help out in one of these categories. And so at the bottom of the page, I have a little sign-up thing. So if you would like to do that, write in your name and what you kind of like to do. You will notice that under newsletter, I put my own name because I am going to start a newsletter. I can always use help on that newsletter, but I'm going to start a newsletter for the USS Tang 805 Commissioning Committee. I've been doing the one for the USS Idaho for about 3 years, and so I've got a lot of the stuff already set up to be able to do that. Anyway, please take this, jot your name down, your phone number, your email, and what you would like to do to help with the commissioning committee. And I'll pick those up off of the tables when we get done. So the start of the commissioning committee is going to have to be creation of the official legal organization for the commissioning committee. And that means we need to have 4 or 5 officers to be on the submittal to the state of Florida as a nonprofit corporation. We'll need to have somebody be the representative of the organization and deal with submittals and stuff. So I'm looking for somebody that can be a part of that to get us organized and a corporation, a nonprofit corporation established with the state of Florida.
Bob, what's the overall goal? Is the Navy handling the commission?
The overall goal is to coordinate with the Navy and Electric Boat with respect to the commissioning. So every submarine that has been commissioned that I'm aware of recently anyway, had a committee of various sizes that have worked with Electric Boat and with the Navy. So having the crew come and visit us, having events for the christening and the commissioning in Groton, Connecticut, doing any help with the crew that we may want to do. For the USS Idaho, they have a scholarship fund for the crew that they created. Soliciting support and getting public notice of what's going on. So advertising and getting people to know, school visits, things like that. So the commissioning committee is a group of people, not just submariners. For the Idaho, they have lots of Air Force people. They have politicians. They have corporate executives that are a part of that commissioning committee. And so that would be the same kind of thing that we would hopefully be able to establish around here. The Honeywell Corporation builds submarines. So they would be a potential participant in this commissioning. Being able to develop the fundraising list of who we would approach and how we do it. Politicians, whether it's Governor DeSantis or, you know, every time I see Representative Scott with his hat that says Navy on it, maybe that's a possibility. So all of that kind of thing will be things that have been done with the other commissioning committees over the last 10 years that I've heard about, and in particular ones that were done with the USS Idaho. So what we need to do is we need to have a group of 5 to 10 people who will help get us underway on this committee. And the first step is to create the nonprofit corporation in the state of Florida. We cannot ask for donations from anybody in the state of Florida or any corporation in the state of Florida until that organization is established. So Rick Cannoli has done a similar kind of thing for veterans in his housing development. He has a whole bunch of background doing this. And so that's what I'm going to try to help get going, and I hope that some of you can help me also in doing that. So if you would like to, put your name down on this piece of paper. It's on the table here, and I'll pick it up after the meeting.
Isn't it also true that the donations are used to add enhancements to the boat?
Yes, the donations can be used to add enhancements to the cruise mess and other parts of the boat that will give the sailors an idea of what the Tang is, what the Tang's history has been. That's where history will be a big factor. Also, here it is. BuildSubmarines.com. I looked this up. There's a whole bunch of jobs available with companies here in Clearwater for BuildSubmarines.com. It's a group of companies that are trying to find people to work for them to do all kinds of different things, from welding to all other kinds of interesting engineering kind of aspects. So I've been seeing the advertisements on TV. When I watch the Tampa Bay Rays game, I see BuildSubmarines.com behind the batter. And so this would also be something that all of you could mention to all those kids that you happen to run into. And when I say kids, I mean all, up to probably 40 or 50 years old that want to get involved with submarines. There's some jobs out there. Okay, thank you.
Are all these jobs here in Florida or various places?
There are various places. So in Idaho, there were 6 jobs in Boise, Idaho, when I looked it up.
It's not warm there in the winter, is it?
No.
Okay, thank you.
But,
Hey, you come down here for the winter to work.
Yeah, around here, there's a whole bunch of companies. If people you know live in Pennsylvania, I'm sure they're there. In Texas, they're there. So anyway, BuildSubmarines.com. There we go.
I was in Key West in May and eating breakfast at this little place, and the guy was wearing one of those hats. I went up and talked to him. Yeah.
BuildSubmarines.com?
Yes.
Yay.
I saw a submarine, so I went and talked to him.
Yay. All right.
That's never happened.
If I may mention something that might not be obvious, this company or corporation we're building that's nonprofit, you don't have to be a member of Subvets or USSBI. In fact, remember we're all 6 degrees away from Kevin Bacon? You can take this list to your friends, your neighbors, your uncles, your aunts, your cousins, your whoever, and if they want to help, if there's 85 of us in our chapter here, that's then 5 people, that's 400 plus people that we can contact to see if they're interested. I mean, you don't have to be a salesperson, but you can at least inform them that we're doing this. Yes, Bob?
Commander, I think one of the first things we need to do is we need to get this out to all the other members. There's only, 25 of us here now that are here in this. And we've got a large part of our membership don't even live in the area.
Right,
I'm talking about.
We'll take them too.
Not Sarasota or South, even in the state. We gotta get a hold of them and see what they can do for us too.
Bob mentioned he's gonna put it in the newsletter.
Yeah. One other thing, very interesting, and I think Bob Summer, you were the one that sent me the list of all of the Tang 563 sailors.
No, Dan Craw did.
Dan Craw did.
Okay, Dan's a repository of
Yeah.
DFAT.
Okay, so I now have the list of all of the old Tang sailors. There's one sailor from 306 that's on the list. And all the others are gone. But there's quite a large number of sailors from the Tang 563 who are still around. And the list had a whole long list of maybe 130 or something like that, of which about 40% were deceased, but the rest I sorted through. There's quite a few in Florida. There's a lot in California. There's a lot in Washington State. There's quite a few in Pennsylvania. There's quite a few in Texas. So these past Tang sailors, we will also be contacted with respect to being a part of this commissioning committee. And like I said, I'm going to try to do a newsletter for the Tang commissioning, and it'll go to all of these people. So it's going to be not just here, it's going to be various places. And this coming week, I'm going to talk to Irv Easton, who's the commanding officer of the 563, who's in Pennsylvania, and he was at the keel leg for the 805, and he wants to know what we're going to do to help, and he's going to try to help, and we're all going to try to work together. So this whole thing is going to evolve, I hope, in really a fantastic way over the next few months. I had hoped to do this a couple months ago, but I ended up, my wife's brother died in Idaho, I had to go there, so it got delayed, but next few months, we're going to try to get all of this kind of put together and in a understandable and reasonable fashion.
Thanks, Bob. Another way to spread the word about this too is I'm sure that we all have emails with our buddies from the different boats we're on. Just because they weren't on the Tang doesn't mean they probably don't know a senator or someone like that who can help, or someone influential. You can send that when you get the third page of this in the newsletter. You can just email it forward to your pals, your buddies, your shipmates, whatever. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bob. Secretary, you doing anything over there in the corner?
No report.
No report, thank you. Treasurer.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
I guess I was given the mic. Okay. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon now. Sorry, I need to bring up my electronic brain. Okay. Well, I was prepared earlier, and for some reason, here we go. Okay, so for last month, the opening balance was $3,379.35. We earned in base dues $30. For national dues, we earned $60 for a total of $90. We had a income of $95 for base special fund. That included the money returned for the half and half or the 50-50. Ship store raised $47 for that. As far as expenses are concerned, we had $90.96 for meeting expenses. That was actually over a 3-month period of time that was covering. And we did not have any other expenses. The 50-50 pot was $65 for the base, $66 for the person who won it, and they contributed 65 of that back to Tang base. The end balance was $3,527.39 for a total of a positive $148.04.
Thank you. May I see show of hands if you want to approve the budget? All those don't approve the budget? Budget passed. Thank you. Membership chair.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have a total right now of 86 members. World War II members, we have 1 member, Peter Wilcox. We have War Patrol members, 69. USS VA Life members, we have 53. Holland Club members, we have 59. Secondary members, we have 11. Associated members, we have 7. Base, Tang base associates, we have 2. We have our Eternal Patrol Ed Gurridge, who will be greatly missed. And that is the end of my report for now. Coming up in December, it's time to pay dues again, so just keep that in mind. Dues are due for 2025 in December, not in June or July of the next year. So please, do me a favor, try to pay by December this year. It's a tough year to collect. Thank you.
Questions?
Yes.
How much are the dues? I forgot.
Dues are 15 for the base and 25 for national, unless you're a life member.
Okay.
30 for national.
30? Oh, 30. I'm sorry, 30. 30, $45, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Membership Chair. Chief of the Boat.
Bob Bachman and I tried to find an alternate place to hold meetings. We were unsuccessful with post 252. He said no. Next Tuesday, we're going to visit a Clearwater base, American agencies. They can accommodate us because we have continuing to have scheduling
conflicts with other sports.
Thank you to you both. Thank you for your efforts on that.
Conflicts all the time.
Librarian. Librarian. Librarian.
Maybe somebody's doing
When you read next month's newsletter, say it said I donated books to the library, I read them all. No, Al didn't think I could read, but, or just the menu when I was on the boat. Gestapo, it's good. I read it. This one I found fascinating. Anybody that's ever gone to Gettysburg, and I have not yet, this is called Wasted Valor, the Confederate Dead of the Gettysburg. And I was kind of curious. You have 50,000 guys died. What happened? And it's pretty interesting. A little morbid, but still interesting. This one is Unsolved Mysteries of World War II. I knew about a lot of them. Most of us probably do from one way or another, but it is interesting anyway. Lastly, Hitler's Last Offensive. What I really liked about this book, it gave it from the German perspective. It's a little different. You know, we see all the movies, Battle of the Bulge, and all these other movies, World War II movies. It's always American perspective. You know, we won. Okay, got it. But what were the Germans doing during this whole time? And this really goes into a lot of detail. And the reason they did that was they were able to interview all the surviving generals from the other side. That's what the author did, and they were able to get the information. So I found it really good. And if you bring in books, please do. Thank you. Chaplain brought in a book, and appreciate that. Happened to be a Civil War book, Confederate States Navy. So everybody wants. That's my library report. You want me to do the district commander? Sure. Well, shipmates, 3 years ago, I became the district commander. This will be my last official meeting. Next month, I'll be in Cleveland. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be elected national secretary because they've already turned it over to me. The other night, a big box arrived at 9 o'clock at night from UPS. And now I have the seal. I'm the keeper of the seal. I will be the fourth in line for secession. Let's hope we don't have any assassination attempts. I don't want to really move up together. I am a voting member of the board. Remember, there's only like 11 people that vote on the board. And I'm the official correspondent for USSBI. And I signed up here on this to be a USSBI rep, because you're going to need one. And I can help, because I not only attend all the Zoom meetings, I keep the minutes for them, but I can speak about that on the quarterly Zoom meeting and at the national meeting. Now, hats. I just bought my hat, and I wish I'd had them sooner as I traveled to other bases, but I'm going to talk to the storekeeper. He's going to be at the national convention. We're going to sell hats, and I'm going to be sure they get sold, because at the breakfast and the lunch and everything, I'm going to stand up and say, hey, we got these hats. One only, brand new. You can't get them anywhere else. Screw the vendors. Go get it from us. And he's got them. There's a limited number, and he'll sell them. And when I go to Kings Bay, when I go to Panama City, I'll do the same thing. So we will sell those Tang hats. Just to my official duty here, my relief, who I requested relieve me, and he will finish the 1 year left on my time. His name Fernando Borges. He was commander of Pelican Harbor. His wife, Donna, was the treasurer. And they moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I think they live south of Venice. And he is now a member of the Sailfish Base. And I think he'll do a great job. You'll like him a lot, very personable. And I noticed something this year. The people that vote on the national awards are all the district commanders. And there's 25 of us, we get all of them. And it was a huge decrease in inputs for awards. Last year, I think I had to vote close to 100 awards from everybody. This year, I think there were around 30. This district, 5, there wasn't a single award submitted. I know because I would have had a vote on it. I don't know why. So I encourage the commanders, the members, you don't have to be the commander to nominate somebody for an award. I, as a member of this base, nominated somebody for an award, and they got that award. He's sitting right there. So you can nominate. Please look up, make sure that it's out to the truth. You're right. You've got 25% attendance here today, 28. That's pretty good, all things considered. The last thing is, I noticed from traveling throughout the district, the bases that have best attendance have the most wives. You go out to see Poacher, a lot of wives. You go to Venice, half the people there are wives. And I think they bring their husbands because they like it. I mean, they're the ones that sell the 50-50 tickets. They're the ones that do the sign-in. They like doing that stuff. One base over there on the East Coast, it's kind of a unique base. Half the people there are wives. You walk in, they give you homemade cookies and brownies and stuff, but they don't meet till 2 o'clock. So you're like, well, wait, it's after lunch, before dinner. Well, and then they drag the meeting out for 2 hours. Why? Because they all go to early bird after the meeting. And I mean all of them.
Makes sense.
So you got 50 people say, we're going to dinner. Dave, you want to go? Well, it took me 4 hours to get there. So if I go to dinner, I won't get home at 11 o'clock at night. So no, I couldn't stay for dinner and stuff. But it's different, okay? You get more wives coming, get more lady friends. Don't have your wife and your girlfriend done work. But if you do that, we have wives and everybody at picnics, but you get more people coming to the, I know we have one lady here, and that's a good thing, yeah.
Do you know if a lot of those wives are associate members?
Some are. They can be. In fact, the wife of the new district commander, his wife Donna, she has her own vest. So I'm sure she is. And they can get that, either as ladies' vest. So, you know, that's easy stuff. So thank you for all the hospitality all these years. And now I want to just change my hat as a member for a minute, okay? Today I heard, now maybe we're going to not do the QVC raffle anymore. Well, I want to talk a second about the QVC raffle. 19 years ago, I was vice commander. I think Dave was treasurer. I'm not sure. I'm going to become treasurer. Anyway, we were going to raise the dues. The worst thing you want to do for an organization is raise dues. You don't want to do that. Just don't raise dues. But we had a lot of expenses. We were printing a hard copy of the newsletter. And we were paying hundreds of dollars every month for that. And then paying for postage to mail them out. And if you notice, stamps are taking out 73 cents. So we were getting a bill for hundreds of dollars a month from the secretary who did the newsletter, Ted McCann. And I said, listen, why don't we email the newsletter? Well, it's not everybody has email. Well, just print it up for ones that don't. And now, guess what? It doesn't cost us any money to do the newsletter. Saved hundreds of dollars a month. Not have to raise the dues. And then I said, why don't we do what we did on the boats and have a QVC raffle? Everybody said, well, I didn't call it QVC. You guys named it QVC. I said just a raffle. And he said, well, what do you do? Well, I went out and bought fishing rods, power tools, and bottles of booze. Most stuff that we want. Maybe not so much the power tools, but most of us who fish would say, I'll take that rod and reel because I got 5 grandkids. Somebody will want it. Simple as that. So if you put the right stuff up there, people will get it. But if you put a bunch of, believe me, I don't need any plaques. I don't want anchors. I don't want steering wheels. I don't want ship's wheels. I don't want flags. I don't want any of that shit. You probably, excuse me, you probably don't either because we got room for them. What you want is something you can walk out of here with and go home and drink, or fish with, or give it to your grandkid, or your son-in-law who needs a power saw, whatever. If you got the right stuff, people will come and buy it. But if you start buying stuff like emergency flare kits and crap for your car, it ain't gonna happen. People just don't want that. So if you get the right, do a survey, find out what the membership wants. All I'm saying is that on the boats, we used to go to in mess decks, and here's a shotgun hanging just wired up in the mess deck. We're gonna sell 100 tickets for a shotgun. When we go to Panama City for Christmas party, guess what one of the raffle things is?
a pistol. A pistol in a box, nice pistol, right? Because one of the guys owns a gun shop. He donates a pistol, brand new. He's a registered gun guy, and you do all the paperwork, and you got your gun. And that damn Ken Nichols wins most of the time. He's the regional director. But anyway, the point is, you put the right stuff up for QBC, people will buy it. If you don't do it, you're going to find your treasurer's going to have less money. And if it hasn't been taking money in, it's because you ain't got the right stuff. And that concludes my report. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Good job.
Yes, Joe.
What's the chances of getting one of those hats in QBC?
They ain't ever going to happen. Because this hat, Panama City 3 years ago, there were 3 of them donated. They were made for one event by the national commander in Texas. And I was able, my wife actually picked it off the table for me, but it had gold dolphins, so we made those, she made them silver. And each year when I go back to Panama City, they're very envious of it. So one of the ladies said, I'm going to get my husband one of these hats. And she called the company. They want $140 for the hat. And he said, she says, I'm not paying for it. And I says, well, I like my $140 hat.
Thank you.
Do they sell them in men's or just that?
Oh.
Oh, that hurt.
Damn, that was slamming.
That was cold.
Can you put me in your will?
Historian. Historian.
How do you follow that act?
Carefully.
Yeah, this entertainment brought to you at no additional charge. Thank you very much.
In conclusion, good job.
A couple of things. With Bob Brady's initiative vis-a-vis the Tang, I thought I'd just, as part of that, just bring the reminder with the painting of a sister ship of Tang, which is the second USS Trigger. And you all have seen this from me before, but certainly it's a great inspiration because both Tang and Trigger are in the same, had the same fate ultimately during the war. In this painting, of course, is the new Trigger, and up in the clouds is the first Trigger. I don't know if this is an inspiration. Maybe we could do another one, but we changed it to a 563, not the 564. But anyway, I just thought of that, Bob, as bring it out of my archives and spread the wealth. The other picture is the trivia question. I've got the picture of 4 admirals that are here. Most of you, of course, didn't do it because you weren't born yet, but it's in 1960, and the pictures are ComSub Pac, ComSub Glenn from World War II and in 1960. So it's Admiral Benson, Admiral Grenfell, Admiral Lockwood, and Admiral Fife. Is the trivia question. The other issue is that as part of my tradition of starting is that we honor with our bell the boats lost in a given month. A couple of the other bases, Dave introduced me to Sea Poacher Base. They actually, as part of that, go in and speak a little bit about what happened to that particular boat. And so I'm doing that extract for 2 boats. The first boat I selected is a little bit of a mystery because in some of the documents is the loss of the USS Runner, SS-275. And we didn't ring the bell for the USS Runner today, but yet it's listed as being lost in July. Thank you. But and also, in American Submariner, we just got it, Runner's not listed in that. However, the records are showing she was considered officially lost on 17 July 1943 because she went out and was ultimately lost. On May 28th, USS Runner left Midway to proceed on her 3rd patrol. She was patrolled south of Honshu. A summary of Japanese anti-submarine attacks received since the close of hostilities contains no mention of an attack that would explain the loss of the USS Runner. Thus her loss is ascribed to an enemy minefield, of which there were at least 4 in the area where she was assigned for operational duties. The ship sank previously on the first 2 patrols, at least 3 chips, etc., off of Palau, and was awarded a number of awards posthumously. And then coincidentally, the fate of USS Robalo was somewhat similar, but in another part of the world. The wreck of the Robalo was actually discovered in May of 2019. She left Fremantle, Australia, on June 22nd, 44, under the command of Commander Kimmel, to conduct her 3rd war patrol in the South China Sea in the vicinity of the Natuna Islands. There's your trivia question: where the heck is the Natuna Islands? Well, you got to go to Borneo, and then you got to keep going west. It's amazing. It's a small thing that are way out there. She reported in July of 44 a battleship with air cover destroyers, but was not able to make an attack. Ultimately, the following information was received by the Philippine guerrillas. Robalo actually was attributed to hitting a mine, and as a result, she exploded in her after battery and ultimately sunk. 4 men actually survived that, and 1 officer and 3 enlisted. They made their way through the shore, through the jungles, but ultimately were captured by Japanese military police. They were classified as guerrilla activity warriors, not prisoners of war. As such, they were considered thus by the Japanese the enemy, and all 4 were executed. It is doubted that the battery explosion could sufficiently have been violent to cause the sinking of the ship. But they ultimately had to have been an enemy mine, caught her in the stern end, and exploded in probably the torpedo room, where the divers that found her on 19 found all the damage. Thus the fate of Robalo. My report. Thank you.
Yes.
Kimmel actually was able to pass a note to some guerrillas, which substantiated the fact that 4 people got off that boat and were captured.
Very good. That's getting here, but I didn't want to have to go on too far. Very good, sir.
I have a question. Anita's father, they just found her submarine last year, I believe. It was off the coast of Japan, the Albacore. It hit a mine. Has there been any other type of information on her?
An albacore?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure there is, but we'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm just very curious of.
I'll look at Wikipedia right now on my computer.
No, I'm just curious, you know.
Go ahead, Joel.
There were actually 4 boats off of the east coast of Honshu who were sank basically in the same minefield.
Okay, gotcha.
Please don't ask me right now what the
No, I'm just very curious about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Welcome. Storekeeper. No new items, no Cadillacs, no nothing. Okay. Joel, anything on Caps for Kids? I know you've not been running at 100% power.
No, I'm going to get back on it in a few days. I have not been able to do anything.
Thank you. Webmaster.
Nothing new today.
Public Relations. Who would that be?
Nothing new today.
Did we make all the right reports on the passing of our member to USSBI?
I don't do that.
Oh, you don't?
Terry
Terry.
Robinson came commissioner.
Well, yeah, I did listen to.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, Joe.
Didn't you send me an email last week on several of our people that were on the medical list? Can't remember. John Beebe?
No, I don't recall I didn't send you anything on that, on the
I thought I
benefits.
got something on.
John Beebe, Fran said he was in the hospital, but he's home.
Oh, okay.
Bob, I sent you information on Bobby Gentry, right? I mean, he's
Yes,
still status quo.
I forwarded that to him.
Okay, fine.
One thing I want to say, I want to thank Chapman. Well, my wife was in the hospital for 6 days. He called me up, said, "How you doing? How's your wife doing? How are you doing? And you want a meal?" Now, I didn't need a meal. I'm a pretty good cook, Al. But he would have had to drive 2 hours to deliver me a meal. But he offered. Thank you, Joel.
Good man.
And that's what I think makes this base special.
Yes. Good job. Point of contact, anything? You're doing a great job getting those emails out to everybody.
Keep going.
Thank you.
Get tired of looking, hearing them, or seeing them, let me know. I'll take you over.
We're gonna keep sending it whether they're tired or not. Any old business? Hearing none. New business, anything on anybody's mind they want to vent? Hearing none. Good to the order. New member C story? Okay. Rick?
I just wanted to be right back at you. I sent out to the officers an idea of trying to get photographs. And I've been around with the trivia question with Ken Bertner, thank you. Just that we collect photographs, if we can, of when you all were in service, no matter when you're in service, and then get a current picture. And Jerry, certainly, et cetera, can get the current, and that we would share that. We either do it on the website, put it out as an email, or throw it in the newsletter and share some of that. We're trying that up in my neighborhood. We've got probably 30 or 40 submissions right now, and of course, it's got a lot of interest. It gets a few laughs, obviously, but that's what I'm encouraging to try to do. Thank you.
Who do we send it to?
Well, we just need to get our officers to accept the idea, and then we can put it out.
All right.
Dave.
Fraser, any objections?
Good of your.
Yes, sir.
I've started my clean out at home, and part of that are these magnets. Small one's good for a speaker's podium. It's got metal with double-sided tape. The two larger ones for the side doors of your car. Anybody want them?
Sure.
I'll take one.
Sure.
Who wants,
have you got
who wants
20 of
what?
them?
Want the small one?
Sure. Thank you.
Duck.
Good job.
If no one wants those big
I'll
ones,
take Put 'em on the-
keep them
Car door?
here.
Yeah, for the parade.
For the parade.
parades. Yes.
Parade.
Thank you.
Every day.
I think those are the ones that we've been looking for.
Yeah.
We didn't know Dave stole them, I mean, had them.
Let's put those on somebody's truck on the next parade.
Al.
Yes, Al.
Charitable Foundation Ambassador here. Just a reminder, I put it out last week, we are selling the patches for the vest. $20, the money goes directly to the Charitable Foundation for USSVI. So if anybody's interested, see me after the meeting, $20.
Thank you. Our National Charitable Foundation Vice President have anything to say?
I will be at the convention next month, so
We will have 2 locations. We will be doing some raffles there, so we'll be going.
Where?
The convention.
Where is it?
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Hey, Bob, I hope you'll have
Around
a
the
Tang
corner.
hat.
What's that?
I hope you'll have a Tang hat at the convention.
Well, the hat I have on says USS VCF. But I'll have a Tang. I'll have more than one hat with me. Okay? So look for us, and anyway, let your friends know that we will be there. And we do send out a newsletter every month. I happen to be the editor right now. So appreciate it if you just take a look at that, open it up, the email, click on the link. The guys are going out of their way to make a nice video to explain about each fund. And quite a lot of good information being passed on. All those newsletters are posted on the homepage of USS VCF. And you can click on that link right there. It's very clear. It's a white label. Additionally, we put out an email about trying to keep shipmates cool. We have a deal that we've set up with Home Depot for those people who don't have air conditioners and are living in a hot box right now. We will give them $500 towards a window air conditioner from the Charitable Foundation Fund. And they will, those who are interested, this in minutes, should work through Al or through the commander. Okay, and then you would also have to then help them install it, because obviously they would need some help. We put that out about a month ago, and rather interestingly, across greater than 10,000 members, no one has taken that offer. No one. Which we find, I don't understand it. But
A lot of pride in submariners.
I know there's a lot of pride, but I'm offering you $500. You know, I'm not asking you for anything. All I'm trying to do is keep you cool and make sure you stay safe. Okay?
Bob, have you had any requests from Houston area subnets? None? Nobody?
Nobody. So I asked Bill to, the current president, I sent him a shorter description of what we're doing, because the newsletter that went out on this said Charitable Foundation Update. So I gave him something that's specific to what we're trying to do, and maybe that will help. In addition, on the homepage of USS VCF, it says, there's a tab there about the air conditioning. All right? So if you know anybody who's a submarine veteran that needs an air conditioning, think about it like this. If you're in a mobile home, which is mostly metal, and you don't have a working air conditioning, and you're living in that gets pretty damn hot. Okay? So that's all I have. Sorry, not as entertaining as some.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were, go ahead.
Questions?
No. I got one thing for the good of the order. I spoke with Bill Osborne the other day, our ex-chaplain. He's moved up to Sturgeon Base for health reasons. He's a chaplain up there. He had the opportunity here recently to do his first burial at sea. Bill, if you remember, was also a pastor, and also, but he did his first, and it was Dennis Zapay. Dennis Zapay was a member of Tang Base. For health reasons, moved up and was up there at Sturgeon Base and quickly passed away. He's on our eternal patrol list also. You know, Bill said it was a 27, I think it was a 27-foot Coast Guard vessel. Went out 6 people, 3 from the family and 3 from the base, plus Bill. So quite an event. He was very pleased to be able to do it.
I wanted to be buried at sea, but I didn't want to be cremated. So after a couple years, Loyola's funeral home in Land O'Lakes got back to me and said, we found a place. So through them, I'm going to have a full body burial in my uniform from a Navy destroyer out of Navy ship out of Norfolk. There's a funeral home near Norfolk, Virginia. They'll store your body, and the next time a Navy ship goes out that can do it, they'll bury you at sea. And it wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $7,000, but I already paid for it. Wow. Loyola's Funeral Home. It was the only one that I found that would do that.
I just chopped it.
It's going to be July 4th, of course, 2042.
What about my calendar, you know?
I'll be 99 years old then.
If you're still hanging around, do something quick.
Yeah.
That's good.
Alrighty, want to do the 50-50?
Joel, I was wondering about being fish food. How you went about doing that?
Yes, Joel.
The
They
fish
still do it.
or the worms do it.
Yeah.
I've been selected for the honor flight on the 10th of September. And I understand that Terry just did the honor flight in the past few months. And I also understand that Rich has, you signed up for it, or?
No, I have to send the application.
Okay. I don't know how many of you would like to do the honor flight, but I'm in contact with a lady who I'm going to try and get here next meeting to give the whole layout and possibly have the sign-up forms if you're interested. So something that...
I got a couple forms if you want some.
Okay. So if you're interested, I'll try and get that set up for next month.
We'd be interested, and we'd like to have a guest speaker. It'd be appreciated. Thank you.
What's her name, Joel? What's her name?
Deanne James.
Are we ready? 50-50!
She's in contact with the lady
Yes!
that runs the whole thing. So possibly...
This is your chance. Tom's not here today.
Yeah.
All righty. Who has number 521? Oh, Jerry! Whoa, Jerry Anderson!
521. Sure there's no summary detail.
I've just missed it. I don't know how many.
I had it one time.
He donated, it was 55, and he donated 35 back.
That's what they do sometimes.
I won't. I'm going to keep it all. And they'll still be ahead because I've spent more.
What first visit?
Okay, all rise, please. Base definitely did benediction.
That's what it's for. That's why I have to do it.
Uncover.
Gracious Father, sweet Son of Man, we just thank you for this meeting. We thank you for this brotherhood, and we ask that you keep us safe on the way home. For those that are on the medical list this week and are under the weather and not able to make the meeting, we ask that you heal them, body and mind and spirit. Bring them back to us next month. We pray all these things in your name.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Aye, aye.